Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things that I've learned about life through watercolor, through painting. So 5 themes that just come up and it made me go, whoa, this is crazy, because what I'm doing here is also applying in real life. And I'll be also painting for you this lovely peony piece in the background. I'll give you some guidance on how I go about doing this, but otherwise you can watch me paint this real time while I chat to you about the 5 things. So if you like to watch and continue, please carry on. So today I'll be using my Meiliang sketchbook. This is a sketchbook that I got from Temu. It is not cotton paper. I'm using my Meiliang 52 color watercolor set, and I am using this gorgeous reference from the book Still Life by Doan Lai. All of this can be find links in the description below. And if you want to have a look at the actual reference and paint along with me, it is a Patreon perk, so you're welcome to go and check out my Patreon. It's available to all the tiers. So it's a poppy painting, and I'm using my square brush or a flat brush and 1/2 inch flat. This is a Princeton Heritage brush, and this is the second time I'm actually using this paint set. It's from Paul Rubens. The brand is Paul Rubens, and it is actually like they're student grade. However, it is such a wonderful set. I did a review on this last week in my video. You can check it out. And, it takes a while to get used to a paint set, so I'm really enjoying this one. So I'm painting loose peonies today, super, super loose. As you can tell, I am just laying down petals by petals and varying the hue, varying the intensity and the depth and the value using pinks and peaches and yellow that I have in my set. I am really loving my sketchbook practice at the moment, because sketchbook is where I can really find a lot of freedom and permission to play, and there's really much less pressure to paint when I feel like I'm painting my sketchbook. I'm not sure why, especially this one. This doesn't cost very much. It's I think less than $10, and it just gives me permission to play, and I don't feel like I'm wasting paper or anything. So I've got 3 main very loose peony shapes there, and now I'm putting some green in. So this is a mixture of the olive green as well as a hooker's green, and I am just pulling the stems out, and I'm making sure that the stems are just pointing in different directions. And I really love her book, Doan Lai's photography book of flowers, because they really have very beautiful compositions. They have flowers like sticking out from different directions. So it's not your classic bouquet where you start painting from the middle and then you work your way out towards filler flowers, that sort of thing. I find it so inspiring, and I love creating this way of painting. So for the rest of this painting, which is going to be fun and loose, I would like to share with you, the topic of this video, which is 5 things that we can learn from our watercolor practice that applies in real life. Maybe I might find a quicker way of saying that in the next for my title, but essentially these are like the philosophies or the themes that come out for me when I paint that I realize is actually a practice for real life as well. Now, I'm also a yoga teacher, if you don't know already, and what I love about my yoga practice is there's also these things that we can learn in yoga that applies to normal life. You might hear people who practice yoga say, practice the stuff you learn on your mat can be applied off the mat. Things like, learning to be present, awareness, how to be calm in faces of challenges and stuff like that. So in this case, when it comes to art and painting, I suppose we can say the same, like the things that we learn on our studio desk, our painting desk, can also be applied off the desk. Right, so let's get into the first one. Firstly is what I learned about painting is connection. The sense of connection is really powerful, and I mean like things like connecting to my tools, connecting to the water, connecting to the colors and the brushes, that feeling of mastering how your brush works, the marks it can make, understanding the colors that are in front of you and how they mingle and mix with each other. And connecting with the different paper sources that you have, and of course just connecting to my body and my breath and how relaxed or stressed I feel. So the sense of connection is really strong when I am painting, and that reminds me that connection in life is so important to what you do. A lot of us just go about our day very mindlessly, and we're just going through the motions of our daily life. We don't stop to connect and really, pay attention and grow that awareness for the things that we're doing. So I find this is a very big thing that appears for me when I paint, that sense of connection that I can increase, and reminding me of connection as a whole to myself and to the world around. And of course, connecting to the subject. That's such an important thing, like, looking at the photo or your subject that you're painting. Now, the second thing I really learned in painting is balance. So we're working on balance all the time. At least I am. I'm balancing the shapes, balancing the values, balancing how it tips across the page. And balance is just a theme that appears in life, like all the time. We're always trying to seek balance, right? After a hard day's work, we need to balance it out by resting. After eating a big meal, the next one, we shouldn't eat so much. So we're always wanting to find balance. And I learned that balance on a page and painting applies so much. And it reminds me of how I need balance in my life. Number 3 is space, like spaciousness. To make sure there's enough white space between the petals, to make sure there's enough space between the flowers, to let things breathe. All right, before we go on and onto the next one, this is where I'm going to stop with this layer. And in the next bit, we're going to come back to do some background and details. So now it's dry. I think this is the next day, and we're going to put some background first. In fact, it's like, why did I choose to do a background before the details? Later on, I'll show you, okay? So we were talking about space. Space is such a thing that we don't give ourselves enough of. At least I do. I try to cramp everything into my day, into my life. I'm trying to get super productive. So I'm learning that actually space is so important on a page, on a painting. And therefore, I learned that how I need more space. I need more space to move and find freedom in my life. The fourth thing that I learned on the painting table is letting go. Letting go of control, letting go of perfectionism. I think this is something that a lot of us control freaks, type A's, suffer from. Sometimes we want to control everything. We want things to go according to the way we want it to. But the beauty about watercolor is that a lot of the times, the magic happens when you don't control things, when you let things go, and when you do things a bit more loose. See, as I'm just going around my flowers now with the brush, and I'm just doing it so relaxed, in a relaxed way, and I'm touching some of the petals, I'm touching some of the stems, and the bleeds form, which gives it that beautiful sense of it being imperfect. So I'm learning so much of how to let go, and the more I let go in painting, the more beautiful and loose and free it feels. Such a big lesson. And the more I try to control and the tighter I become, the more constrained the painting looks, and the energy just doesn't seem to flow so nicely. So letting go. Number 4, such a big thing. Finally, the last thing I want to share in this video is play. Painting really has taught me how to play again. And when I became an adult, whenever that happened and had kids, suddenly it feels like, it's so hard to let myself play, to enjoy just, experimenting, being curious, having fun, you know, and play, just the idea of play. I don't do that so much at all in my life. So painting, watercolor has taught me that play is so important in life, because if we don't give ourselves a chance to play, we'll lose this, you know, very human thing about ourselves, which is to find joy and interactivity and meaning through play. It's so unique. No, I'm not sick. That's crazy. It's not unique. Animals play too. Have you seen puppies play? Joy comes from play and not being too serious. So yeah, those are the 5 things I wanted to share with you. Connecting, balance, spaciousness, letting go, and play. And these themes are actually the themes that I've had on my Patreon since I started March this year. So every month in my Patreon, I bring forth a theme that's relating to art, that's relating to painting, and together in a group, as a community, we discuss, we come together in our live stream, and we talk and we share about, you know, what these themes mean to us in our lives and in our art. And I really can't think of a better way to come together and paint, because as much as I love painting flowers, and we can do techniques and we can do practices and all of the stuff, this is the thing that really makes me excited about painting, when we talk about how painting benefits us in our lives. Yeah, so do check it out. My Patreon link is in the description below. I've got 2 tiers, and it's a really lovely little intimate group. And, you know, we have varying degrees of participation. I have some patrons that are just so amazing, and they're always sharing their thoughts and their paintings. And then, you know, there are some which is people that just like to hang back and observe, and that's totally fine too. I want to take this opportunity to really thank my patrons that have been with me, who've just signed up. You really, really make a difference, and I'm so glad that we can come together to discuss all these amazing things about art, paint together, yeah, community is such a big deal. It's such a big deal to us as human beings. Artists' lives can be very lonely sometimes, and it's nice to be by ourselves, but I do love getting together and being part of a group. Okay, so now I'm actually just putting the lines and details and layers in the flowers themselves after I put the background in. And I discovered through doing this that it's kind of like interesting, because some of the lines that I made actually flow out of the petals and into the background, and it creates an additional kind of bleed that I won't really achieve otherwise. And I like to use sepia and pink these days. That's really my favorite, like dark brownish earthy tone color that I go around my paintings. And in the second layer here is when we add depth to the painting, and we add intensity, and we add the punchiness. Let me know in the comments below, you know, how you go with your layering. Like, do you enjoy layering? Do you feel that it's scary? Yeah, I love to hear more. So you see how I made those yellow marks bleed into the background a bit? And I really, really love that. Yellow is a really strong pigment that spreads really nicely. And yeah, for this sketchbook that's not even 100% cotton, I'm pretty happy with it. These days, when I want to play and I want to have a record of my painting in a chronological order, I do pull out my sketchbook. So of course you can paint this on an A4 or, you know, any kind of watercolor paper. All right, and then just final veins on the leaves. Remember to tag me on Instagram at crystaltanart if you post your beautiful paintings. I'd love to see them. And also remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I've just hit 15,000 subs, so I'm so happy and grateful. And there you have it. So I have more to share with you, and it'll be coming in the next video. 5 more themes that have emerged from my paintings that also appear in real life. I'm so excited to share that with you. In the meantime, I really want to see your painting. Tag me on Instagram, follow me on my channel, subscribe, Patreon, blah, blah, all of that. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.